first thing you want to do with your jars is you want to fill them with water in your water bath canner, covering about an inch or two over. And then you're just going to bring this up to a simmer, and you want to simmer it for 10 minutes. And I have my funnel in here and my debubbler because those are going to touch the product and they need to be sanitized. And then I have over here a kettle for water that I'm boiling so that I can put on top of my rings. And I just have them here, magnet for them, and get that warmed up too. Okay, and then when I come back here, we will go ahead and get the salsa pack opened with the cans and go from there. Go ahead and put the lid on my canner and let it come up to a simmer. Okay, so you can see this has come up to a boil. It's steaming. So now we're just going to take it over to here and fill our lids to keep them nice and hot. Okay. And now what those will do is just sit there and wait till I'm ready. So here is the packet we're using, and now this comes in 3 different variations. It comes in mild, medium, or hot. I've done a hot one yesterday. I have medium here, and I have mild to do at my mother's. Okay, this gives you the ingredients in the back. You can use 6 pounds of fresh tomatoes, or you can use 6 canned diced petite regular tomatoes, or low sodium tomatoes undrained. Then you need a half a cup of 5% acidic vinegar, and then you need this pouch here. And then it gives you all the instructions of what to do first. So here, since we don't have fresh tomatoes, we're going to go ahead and go to this step, because it says right there, if you're using canned tomatoes, do not drain the liquid. So here is where we need to go first. Now, here is the canned tomatoes I bought. They are Del Monte petite cut diced tomatoes. They are non-GMO, no preservatives, and they have a non-BPA lining to them. So all we're going to do is go ahead and open our 6 cans of tomatoes and add that into my non-reactant stock pot, because that's what it says in here. It says this line here: combine tomatoes, mixed wedges, distilled vinegar, or any you can use any 5% vinegar, mixed wedges, medium salsa pack in a large non-reactant pan. Do not use aluminum. Bring to a boil, stir occasionally, reduce and simmer for 10 minutes. Stir occasionally, and then it says salsa is ready. So you can serve it, freeze it, or can it. We're going to be doing the can it part here. So let's go ahead and get to it. My daughter does not know how to use this can opener.
Thank you.
So we're going to open all of our cans, and then we'll be back to pour them in. Okay, so all of our cans are open, but I did want to say one thing. The thing I love about this packet is the fact that you don't have to use fresh tomatoes. You can use canned tomatoes. Go ahead and pour them in. You can use canned tomato, which allows you to can all winter if you want more salsa. Which I absolutely love that, because we go through a lot of salsa in this house.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of being able to grab 6 cans of tomatoes and can more, lower dear, and can more salsa all winter long, instead of being limited to what I can do. So as you can see, we're just adding our tomatoes in. Don't use your fingers, please. That's why they have spatulas if you need to scrape, or just pound it against the side. Okay, let's try to keep the paper out. Pretty sure we don't want to eat the paper.
Do we know?
No. So you can see how easy this is, that I'm even letting my 9-year-old do it. Go ahead and throw all these away. Are you 9 or 8?
8.
Oh, my 8-year-old. My bad. Now we got a half a cup, and we're going to go ahead and pour our vinegar in there, because you need a half a cup of 5% vinegar. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Hold it straight, okay? Oh my gosh, barely enough. Okay, go ahead and pour that in. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and open our Mrs. Wedges pack. We're just going to dump that bad boy right in, making sure we get everything out of there. Here, let me see it. See, it's just all dehydrated spices.
Here.
Okay, and I like to keep this aside so that I can read. Now we're just going to stir this through. You want to go ahead and give it a stir? Sure. Stir it all up really good and mix up all those spices. You can use your other hand.
Really?
You want to mix up all those dehydrated spices.
If you would literally smell this, you would be like, OMG, it smells so good.
Smells delicious. Okay. Okay, so we're going to turn our front burner on. Push in. Push in, Kaylee, and turn. Go up to about an 8. Yeah, you want it on. So all you have to do now is let this come to a boil, and when it comes to a boil, reduce the heat and simmer for 10 minutes. This should simmer 10 minutes when this is simmering 10 minutes. This is about, if you can see, it's about there. So this should be about ready to simmer too. So we will meet you back here when we have that ready and we're ready to fill our jars. Just gonna go. Boiler just got done, so you can see it's still bubbling pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and remove the stuff I'm using real quick and just set it on my clean towel over here. So I have my lids ready back here. I have my towel to wipe with ready. My salsa is done. Okay, so let me go ahead and get a little hot pad here. And this hot pad is one I made. So I crocheted it. Go ahead and move our salsa over to our hot pan. Our pad protector here.
That you made.
Okay. And there we have it.
Oh.
Now we're gonna get I will get the jars out. You can fill them. I'm gonna remove a jar. I like to do 2 jars at a time because then I can put the funnel on top of my next jar. Okay.
We need the funnel so if you make a mess, it'll go in the funnel.
Now we need to leave a half a space between. So let's go ahead and pull closer so we don't make a mess.
Or Ferner's house too.
Okay. Go ahead and fill her up. These jars are very hot, so you want to be careful.
That's why we use tongs so we don't burn ourselves.
Stay back out of the view though. Careful, don't spill it. That's good, I think. Okay, so we're gonna, so a ½ inch is gonna be this
3.
third one up here, right there. So we're just gonna stick it on here, and it looks like we're almost there.
So I'll just put a little bit.
You can add a smidge more, Nina. Stop. And now we're there. You want it to touch. So now we're gonna take the debubbler side. We're just gonna go through.
So we can get all the
remove
bubbles
all
out.
the bubbles. Okay, we're gonna set that down, and then here we go ahead and wipe the rings, the lid. I'm gonna show you how to do 1 jar, and then you can do the rest on your own. Wipe it good.
There.
So you're just gonna stick it on top and wipe.
And then can I do this?
And we grab our lid. Go ahead and tighten, finger tight. You don't want it too tight at all.
Don't put it on too tight or you can't open
Just like that. That's it. Now we're going to take it and back into the hot water it goes. So we're going to continue to fill these suckers up here, and we will meet you back here when we have that all finished. If we take a peek in, you can see it's boiling. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a second to come back up, and we're gonna put our 40 minutes on the timer and let it start. I have reduced it to about an 8 on my stove, and you can hear it's boiling in there. So when the 40 minutes is up, we're going to remove the jars from the canner, place them on our canning rack to dry for 12 to 24 hours. Okay, so now my timer is going off, and here's what you want to do. You're going to want to turn the stove off, remove your lid, place that aside because it's extremely hot, and then you're going to want to put 5 minutes on your timer and just let that come down. You can see it's still boiling, but by the time that 5 minutes is up, this won't be boiling no more, and then we'll remove them. So now the timer has gone off again, and what you're going to do is lift these sides up. Well, it's a little hard with one finger. Sorry about the smoke. And there they are. So now we want to carefully take them out without, I know you can see that there's a lot of water on top here. Just leave it alone, it'll dry. You don't want to tip them. And you're just going to put them on your canning mat. I got these at Walmart for $2. So you can find those anywhere. Just want to go very carefully. And as you can see, I only had 5 pints, but I put an extra 4 in here to fill it up, because you cannot can unless you fill your canner. And then also another really important thing I wanted to address is do not screw with these recipes. This recipe is designed safely the way that they have it without adding anything else into it, and when you go and add stuff in, then you're making it an unsafe recipe. So just follow this. Do not add any onions or peppers or jalapenos or cilantro. Don't, just leave it like it is. Okay, so now we're gonna let these jars sit for 12 to 24 hours, and you should hear them start popping here soon. See if I can catch one. When they pop, that means they're sealed. But anyways, after the 12 to 24 hours, you're going to take these rings off, and you keep the rings because you can reuse them. And then you're going to wash the jars with soap and water and let those dry, and then date and tag the lid on top, because this is the lid that you're going to throw away once you open. You cannot reuse those. So I'm going to show you how we washed those. I have some that I canned yesterday. This is the spicy one. Okay, so we're just going to grab the jar, and you want to wash the lid, the sides, and definitely get up under here because it can get real sticky when it's boiling in there. and then just set it down and we'll rinse. We're just gonna go ahead and wash all of these.
You see, this is the crust we need to wash off.
Yeah, it gets dirty. And you can add a little vinegar to your water to stop that from getting all gross. Then we're just gonna rinse them all, dry them, and then we will go ahead and write on top. These are in purple jars. That's how I know they're spicy salsa. Then we'll write on top when we're done. Rod. So we're just gonna write hot salsa. We're gonna put 7/2016 on top. Therefore, we know that these are the hot salsa, and we don't eat them on accident because some of us don't like spices. And then on the other salsas that we can today, there are medium, and Christopher, Kaylee, and I love those ones. So we will just write salsa on top of those. Okay, and these are ready to store in your pantry or wherever you're going to store them. Just remember that when you go ahead and take these off, what I like to do is just stab them with a knife, so that my husband knows to throw that away. If he doesn't see a stab hole in it, like I'll show you for example. This is the salsa work we did a couple days ago, but there's a stab hole here, right into the middle. And when he sees that, he knows to throw this away. He just knows it's damaged.
He knows to throw it away when the salsa is empty.
When it's emptied, yeah.
And keep those jars and rings.
Because you cannot reuse the lids. You can reuse the jars and your rings only. But this is some that I canned the other day.
It's medium.
It's medium salsa. And this stuff is flying out of our house like crazy. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and check the description box below for all of my links to my social media pages. If you have any requests for any other canning ideas, please let me know in the comments below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!